Egypt has offered archaeologists and historical researchers countless relics and secrets of the ancient world. These finds mainly consist of ancient artifacts like mummified remains and death statues. But, in the 19th century, Robert Curzon found something that would change our understanding of the Bible forever. The aristocrat left what he saw as the dreariness of Britain in the early 1830s in search of an exotic North Africa in which he hoped to find clues about Christianity and the Bible. Arriving in Alexandria, Egypt, in 1833, Curzon knew that the country held earlier records about Christianity and the Bible than had ever been found. By 300 AD, Alexandria was one of the great Christian centers. To put things into perspective, at around the same time in the UK, Christianity was illegal and wouldn't become legal within the boundaries of the Roman Empire for another 14 years. Curzon knew that Egypt held some of Christianity's earliest monasteries and by extension some of the religion's earliest texts. His journey and discoveries were explored during the Smithsonian Channel's documentary, Bible Hunters, Search for Truth. Dr. Jeff Rose, an archaeologist who presented the show, noted how the monastic movement began in Egypt. He said, monks who had gone out to the desert to live in solitude banded together in self-sufficient communities and those became the first monasteries. One of the oldest monasteries in Egypt, and the world, is the Syrian monastery 90 miles west of Cairo. In 1834, it took Curzon nearly 2 days to reach it by boat and camel. Today it's less than 2 hours away by bike. Founded in the 6th century AD, the monastery was known for its wall paintings in its library of precious manuscripts. When Curzon visited the library he found the place in complete disarray with manuscripts just littering the floor. Many of the ancient books had since been burned by poor Egyptians with no money fuel. However, some of the ancient texts had been salvaged and kept under lock and key. Certain that this was the case, Curzon plied a blind monk with liquor and managed to coax him into showing him to the secret library within the monastery. And he was right, the monk took him deep inside the library's vaults where the texts were kept. As Dr. Rose explained, inside the room, Curzon found a treasure trove, the dusty pages of some of the earliest dated Bible texts in existence. He found fully bound Christian manuscripts, as well as several gospel fragments, all written in ancient Syriac, a language similar to what Jesus spoke. The texts dated back to the 4th century AD. Dr. Rose continued, Curzon also stumbled upon a surprise, a biblical text, the Acts of Peter and Paul, which was never included in the Bible. At the time, questions about why this Christian text was omitted led to speculation among scholars about the accuracy of the Bible. In 1838, hungry for more answers, Curzon set out on a second expedition. This time, he visited Mount Athos in Greece, an important center of Eastern Orthodox monasticism, before crossing over into Egypt once more and making several purchases. He published his journeys in his book, Visit to the Monasteries in the Levant. It gained huge traction, and by 1881, Curzon had completed a further 6 expeditions to the Levant and the surrounding region. His finds were viewed as breakthroughs in modern understanding of Christianity, and culminated in the British Museum's acquisition of the collection of Nitrian manuscripts.